When it comes to B2B website design, it's so easy to get caught up in the trends of the day and think that their application is the best thing that you can possibly do to create a novel, exciting, fresh experience for visitors and buyers. But beware, the vast majority of web trends are not aligned to or designed to improve your business outcomes from your website. They don't create a more effective user experience that turns more of your visitors into high intent leads. So take caution, use caution when it comes to implementing new trends on your website. Here are some things to avoid in particular because they are not aligned to the ultimate outcome that you seek. They're more likely to create interesting friction, which will not produce pipeline if applied to your website. This podcast is brought to you by Blend, the HubSpot website agency. Your website is your most valuable marketing asset, and so it's crucial that you get it right. We're the specialist HubSpot website agency helping businesses create effective, scalable websites that drive real results. See examples of our work and the impact we've delivered for businesses just like yours at blendb2b.com. So things like parallax scrolling, scroll jacking, custom cursors, all things that are really quite easy to implement, give us a nice novel feeling when we see them, but in reality they are just so opposed to the purpose of having a B2B website and the task completion of buyers when they're on your website that you want them to take and complete, i.e. become a high intent lead, go into your pipeline and ultimately buy from you. Changing the way that your visitor's browser behaves in ways that deviate from all the other websites that they visit is not going to create deeper connection, deeper affinity, better trust with your brand. It's simply going to irritate. So resist the urge to implement any of those flashy but counterproductive web development design trends. Similarly, there are best practices and there are conventions around navigation that just make sense to adopt and stick to because they consistently produce the best user experience and the best results and the best outcomes. Novel approaches to website navigation are not the sort of thing that you want to be implementing in your B2B website unless they are widely adopted. On desktop, horizontal navigation with drop downs or simple mega menus will always produce the best customer experience, the best journey, and the highest conversion rate. Navigation that's on the left hand side, stuck to the bottom of your screen, fills the screen when you click on it. All these things are just going to create an unintuitive, unfamiliar experience for buyers that will ultimately decrease your conversion rate. So stick to traditional navigation and don't experiment in that area. Dark mode is another sort of sounds nice, seems nice, feels nice, but in reality is a good way to invest a lot of time and money creating something which isn't aligned to the core outcomes, the core KPIs you have for your B2B website. So we've noticed that in general, dark mode websites or websites that are dark don't seem to have the same efficiency of converting visitors into leads as your standard typical light mode website. White text on dark background is not easier to read. It has to be at such a large font to retain the clarity and the readability that it really fundamentally changes your approach to your website. And unless you adopt and implement that change throughout, putting your website into a dark mode or using a dark design is going to make your website harder to read and consume for the majority of users who are on desktops in light environments. Now, I think there are edge cases here where developer audiences and certain applications may have a reason and a need and a good reason to have a dark mode or a dark website. But for the majority of businesses, when it comes to communicating your proposition effectively, generating pipeline for your business, a dark mode website is not going to help you achieve that, and therefore putting a toggle or having your website permanently in dark mode is not going to be the thing that produces better results for you. One type of trend that some people will love and embrace and others will try to sort of debunk are the general sort of design trends of flat versus realistic versus skeuomorphic, etc., etc., etc. I think in this day and age, those sorts of things are all fair game. It's up to you entirely how you present your information in a creative design manner. I don't think that it's necessary to follow a trend or a pack in terms of adopting skeuomorphic versus flat. There was a time when there was a clear preference among visitors and buyers for one type or another of these models. But now we're so familiar with the web, we're so comfortable using it, and we've got so many different devices and experiences in our lives that I think visitors can get on with any approach to your brand that you like. So those sorts of trends for design approaches are no longer ones that you need to worry about adopting or not. You can stick to your guns in terms of how your brand is best represented.